All aboard the wood train. So this is a power pack that Haley had built a couple years ago, because he's a miller, right? He's inventing all these machines, so he's got like a standalone hydraulic power pack. So it's nice because the splitter can be over here and the motor can be way over there. So, you know, the splitter is nice and quiet because the motor is off in the distance, so it's not all vibrating and heat from the motor. It's just nice and cool and calm. So here it is, the junkyard splitter. This piece of channel came from I think a Canadian Tire store that was being renovated, and Haley got a hold of some channels. This galvanized channel came out of an old chicken barn. This, Haley had a little skid steer once that he sold, and he bought a piece of cutting edge to rebuild the bucket, but he sold it and didn't sell the cutting edge. So I cut two chunks of the cutting edge and welded them back to back, put a few passes of weld on the front and sharpened it. And it's just a hoop and it's a pipe there. So there's the cylinder. It's just a small tie rod cylinder. It's kind of like one of the cheapest cylinders you can get at Princess Auto. It's 20-inch stroke. This is built like this, and underneath it's your slidey dealy. So Haley cut and drilled a lot of these parts. I basically just assembled it and welded it. So it's I put it together, but it's not really my splitter. So at first I was going to make it so that power pack sat like on this trailer as a unit, and you just used this lever. But then Haley had a valve that we dug out and found, so you just tie this valve up with a piece of welding rod there, and then it feeds off of this valve. And we bought an actual wood splitter valve. You got to run the valve kind of backwards because it detents that way, but it doesn't kick out when the cylinder goes all the way in. It doesn't kick out. It has a detent, but it was supposed to have, but oh well. So there, that axle, that's a trailer axle. That's the third time at least it's been modified. I don't know what the axle was originally, but then Haley at his dad's place, there's this old truck deck sitting out back, and they cut that axle down and put it underneath the old truck deck and made a trailer to haul a load of stuff from Ontario to Alberta. And then use that axle to move his sawmill, and now I cut it down and narrowed it again, so now it's a wood splitter axle. Yeah, I got the shackles on the spring backwards when I put it together. Wasn't really paying attention. No big deal. So there you go, man. It's you know, it's not too massive of a splitter, but it was built for this wood, this type of wood, so it works. Well, it works awesome. So don't mind all the wild hydraulic fittings. It's kind of worked with what we had, and it's a nice little splitter. So there's this display. I split lots of wood up by the house there the other weekend, but there's this pile and there's a bunch of poles cut, and I want to get all this cleaned up because I want to have access to the tractor to get to my buzzsaw, because I want to start cutting some wood and then loading the log deck up, and I want to put the bigger motor on that buzzsaw and get that sharpened up. And yeah, man, let's start making some firewood. it, but it did not take long to split a trailer load. There was more wood around than I thought between what I split last weekend and the stuff here. I'm not going to have to cut very much wood this year. I don't know, maybe 2 more trailer loads or something like that. We might get into selling some firewood here, some campfire wood, or maybe not, I don't know. It's been talked about, but anyways, okay, so I'm going to pan you around here. So I'm going to go up to the house and unload that. And there's a bit, I'm going to chainsaw down and cut some of that up, and there's some poles that Haley has cut up, so yeah, I'm going to unload that and come back for the rest. Still really breaking in. I really haven't ran this too much, so still in rich braking mode, but oh, turn it on. Not bad for a Curtis Custom, eh? Okay, wood time. Man, it sure is a treat having the power source over there. The motor is nice. It just kind of, you don't got to wear hearing protection or nothing. It just kind of purrs away in the background, and you're here splitting. It's awesome. And seeing how this is just a cylinder, you know, if you have a remote, hydraulic remotes on your tractor, you can just you can run it like a tractor, or your skid steer, or anything, right? It's just a cylinder, so it's pretty sweet. You know, like to buy a splitter like this would be like what, like $2,000, and it got built for very cheap. So it's, yeah, man. I encourage everyone to buy a welding machine and start gathering up scrap and start building their own machines. It's awesome. So never really timed it, but there you go. So that's a load of cedar. Everything that's been cut is split now between this evening and then last weekend. She's all, so there. we're all cut. So I think next order of business probably tomorrow. Might screw with it a bit tonight. I'm going to start amping up the buzz saw, and then once I get that operating, I'm going to go cut some trees. I'm probably just going to cut a lot of the scraggly dead standing crap here, a lot of the smaller crap. The only saw I brought was my big bore John Surrett there with the 28-inch bar, so probably pretty overkill, but whatever. Cut a bunch of trees, drag them out, get them on the log deck, buck them up with the buzz saw, have the splitter. It's going to be awesome. So talk to you probably maybe tomorrow. Talk to you soon, guys.